Dear man of God, dear Christian in church, beware of the dinner syndrome in church. Beware of the dinner syndrome in church. What is the dinner syndrome? The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that makes us to fight fathers in the bid to protect those that have been what? Victimized, hurt, and bruised in the church. What is the dinner syndrome? The dinner syndrome is a syndrome where we use anger and violence and hatred and curse word on fathers in order to protect those that what are being insulted, abused, and maltreated in the house of God. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome where we try to use all the care, all the love, and all the attention dishonorably to protect those that are not treated fairly in the church of God, in the in a dishonorable way. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome where we tend to show too much care on our beloved ones, the ones that we care about in the church. That seems to be what? Abuse. You see that? The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that will open a door of curses in our life. It will deny us of our blessings. It will rob us of the honor and the glory that fathers are ordained to impart unto us. But the Bible says the children have gathered the wood and the fathers have what? Kindled the fire. Jeremiah 7 verse 18. The Bible says in Isaiah 38 verse 19, the father shall make known thy truth what? To what? Thy children. So there's a blessings that fathers have to communicate to sons. There's a honor, there's a dimension that only fathers can impact onto what? Onto sons. But a lot of times we don't focus on that blessing. We don't focus on that which God has ordained for us because we are trying to be so much compassionate and caring on our brothers and sisters around, not focusing on that which God has for us. And in the process, we cause pain and dishonor to those that God has ordained to bless us. You must beware of that syndrome of dinner in the house of God. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that what will deny us of the father's impartation. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that what will enable us to fight what is right, but what dishonorably. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that will enable us to exercise ourselves in matters too high for us, in matters too great for us. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that will cause our eyes to be lofty and our heart to be what? To be haughty. And thereby we indulge ourselves in affairs that are bigger and greater than us. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that will indulge us to be critical of those that we have to what? Protect, of those that have to what? Bless us. The dinner syndrome is a syndrome that will enable a young man to curse a father and not bless their mother. The Bible says, whosoever mock at his father and despised his mother, say the raven shall pluck out his eyes. The Bible says there's a generation of them that curse fathers and not bless fathers. The story of Dinah is a story in Genesis chapter 34, from verse 1 to verse 29. Dinah was the only daughter of Jacob, born with Leah. She never experienced the love of a father. She never experienced the love of a mother. In fact, the Bible says when the mother gave birth to Dinah, because she was trying to impress the husband by giving birth to sons, when she gave birth to Dinah, she gave no prophecy over Dinah. Dinah was a child in church who was never shown love and care by the father, never shown love and care by their mother. Dinah was a symbol of a child who was emotionless, who was loveless, who was not being catered for. This same Dinah had brothers who were never loved by their fathers. And yet Dinah went out on the street in Genesis 34 and met a young man called Shechem and felt that he was loved, and yet he was raped by Shechem. But the Bible says in Genesis 34 and verse 5, when the father heard of how her daughter was raped and she was kept in the house of Shechem, Jacob held her peace. Jacob, her father, never fought back. Jacob, her father, did nothing to protect the daughter who was being kept in the house of the young man that raped her. What an effrontery. But the Bible said Jacob waited for the sons to come back because they were in the field. But when the sons came back, he explained to the sons what had transpired. And the sons went ahead, they agreed with their father that the Shechemite and they themselves should go into marriage because the young man had expressed love and care towards their sister. The little girl was about to experience love that she had never experienced from her mother, from her father. The Bible says the soul of Shechem was cleaved to Dinah. And for once, even though he came in a state where she did not expect, where she was being raped, but for once she found somebody that will show her love and care. But the Bible says the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, they deceived the inhabitants of Shechem and they went into circumcision and Abrahamic covenant. The Bible says in Genesis 17 that God entered a covenant with Abraham and they brought them into a covenant with the Lord. And while they were in that covenant, they went again what? I violated the covenant by killing all the men of what? Of Shechem. And the Bible says in Genesis chapter 34, verse 30. Genesis 34, verse 30. And Jacob said to Simon and Levi, you have troubled me. You have troubled me. Genesis 34, verse 30. You have troubled me. You have made my name to stink among the inhabitants of the land. You have troubled me. You have troubled me. You have made my name to stink, to be odious to the inhabitants of the land. And in verse 31, they said, should he deal with our sister as with what? A prostitute. In the process of protecting their sister, they defied the name of their father. In the bid to protect their Dinah, their sister, whom no one has ever fought for, whom no one has ever protected, they what made the name of their father to stink. They destroyed the integrity of their father. They spoiled the honor of their father. They brought a curse and a pain and a sorrow to their father. And that is what the Dinah syndrome will do for you, man of God. If you are coming to ministry, you are a pastor, you are a Christian, beware of the Dinah syndrome. Don't indulge yourself in matters of the church, in matters of Christians. Yes, it is true that there are some Christians that are not fairly treated. Yes, there are Christians that are being raped in church. But please, don't take it upon yourself to try to be abusive, to be dishonorably in this matter in order to protect the Dinah in the church. In doing that, you might lose your blessing. Because a day came where they had to be blessed, but Jacob will not bless them. He cursed 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 them. So beware of the Dinah syndrome. Try to protect the mistakes of fathers. Don't expose their weaknesses. Cover their mistakes. Don't expose it. A lady shared a story with me, and I applaud her for that. Her pastor slept with a lady. The wife put to bed and they were going to go and buy things in Douala. And along the line, the pastor slept with that girl. The lady was so disappointed. He came and met a member of that church and explained to them what the pastor had done. He was a member of that church. And the pastor even took the girl's money to pay the hotel. And she came and met this lady and explained to the lady what their pastor have done. And this lady called this lady, pay her the money that the pastor took and paid the hotel, and convinced the lady not to expose the matter and pleaded with her. And then let her call the pastor in her office and explain to the pastor and rebuke the pastor. He spoke to the pastor. The pastor said, no, I didn't say I know you. It's not the first time. You are fond of doing this. And he rebuked the pastor. They protected the word, the honor, and the integrity of the pastor. See that? So there are some things that you must be wise, thou brother, that sister, and that man of God, in managing the affairs of fathers. Be wise. Use wisdom. Use wisdom. Don't use anger. Don't use bitterness to protect father's honor.